And let's talk about when positions turn negative theta. Now, again, you kind of want to differentiate between long premium and short premium, which we're going to do that on the slide here in just a second. But just to kind of lay the groundwork, just to kind of, light the pathway forward through the forest of where we are intending to go here. You kind of want to categorize between long premium and short premium. Like, you want to make sure that you kind of demarcate between those two worlds, because obviously their relationship with theta, and specifically positive theta and negative theta, is going to be quite different, right? We sell premium, we're typically positive theta. We buy premium, we're typically negative theta. And so, we want to make sure that we understand that. But sometimes we might have a position on, like a short premium position, that was positive theta on entry, but now it's actually negative theta. And we're going to see a couple of these in the portfolio in just a couple of minutes after we kind of work through, kind of the basic idea here of what I want to cover. And so that's kind of what I really want to focus on here today. Like, what does negative theta mean? What does negative theta mean? We're going to cover long premium and what negative theta means in that context. But I think that's maybe more obvious because, most people that are familiar with options understand that time is working against you. And that's the main reason why we typically don't like to buy options, at least not buy naked options. But what about selling options? What about selling premium? Well, there are times and situations, you're going to see a couple strategies I have on right now, like SPY, like QQQ, that were positive theta on entry, but they're not positive theta now. They're negative theta now. So let's kind of talk through and work out why that might be the case. So Ryan, go ahead and bring us into the content here today. On this scorching St. Petersburg day, it's 81 degrees outside. So even when we sell premium and generate positive theta on order entry, our positions can flip over and become negative theta, which is essentially what I just said in the intro. All right, so when you're positive theta, what does that mean? This is like options 101. This isn't even options 101. This is like what they hand out in a pamphlet when you're attending some options fair, where you're thinking about enrolling in options 101. When you're positive theta, time is working for you. Right? Time decay is working on your behalf. The passage of the calendar is working in your favor. Like, time is literally an ally to you and for you in your battle against option pricing, in your quest for, financial success using the derivatives market. So that's positive theta. Okay. When you have a short premium position on, so now I'm in the kind of the final column, like the grayish background box of this little, this tiny little matrix that we've created. When you have a positive theta position on and time is working for you, this means that your short premium positions are going to be headed towards zero. That means they're going to be on a pathway to moving lower in price, which is what you want when you sell premium. That's effectively what positive theta is pointing you towards. Okay. If you have a long premium position on, now here I'm mostly referring to like a spread, like a long vertical spread or maybe even a long diagonal spread or something like that. This would not be the case for like a naked long call or a naked long put, because those are always going to be negative theta. It doesn't matter, how well this position might be doing. You're never going to have a situation where this is positive theta, but there will be times when you have a spread on, whether it be, a vertical, whether it be a diagonal, whether it even be, like an iron condor, whether it even be like, a calendar spread potentially, you are going to be positive theta in that position. So what that is telling you is that even though you're long premium, so you're kind of on the other side of the fence, because you're positive theta, time is still working for you. So as time passes, the value of that position actually rises. Because remember, when I buy premium, I want the value to rise. I don't want the value to fall. That's a short premium play. When I sell premium, I want the value to fall so I can buy it back at a lower point. But when I buy premium, again, it doesn't matter what it is, a vertical, a diagonal, a calendar, whatever. I want the strategy, the spread, the value of the position to rise to whatever level it can possibly rise to. Well, if I'm positive theta, that's good for me. There's going to be kind of this natural drift higher of a long premium position to approach its maximum value as time goes by. Okay, that makes sense. What about negative theta? Well, negative theta, again, this is also handed out via pamphlet form at that options fair before you enroll in options 101. Time is now working against you. So now time is working against you. Time is not your ally. Time is not your friend. Time is not your confidant when it comes to your quest for financial success. It's working against you. And so this is the biggest reason why we typically don't like long options, naked long calls, naked long puts, things like that. Well, if you look at a negative theta position, and now again, if this is the first time you're hearing this, you're like, wait a minute, short premium and negative theta, those don't really make sense. Those don't normally go together. And that is correct. Not on order entry. But if you put a trade on and it doesn't work, you will find yourself at one time or another negative theta on that position. So I think it's helpful to kind of unpack why that is the case, what it means, and what you could potentially do moving forward to kind of mitigate that loss if there is anything to be done. If I'm negative theta and time is working against me, this means that my short premium position, again, the short premium position that I want the value to fall on, it's actually going to be on the road to increasing in value. It's actually going to be on the road to potentially, approaching its maximum value. Like if I sold a vertical spread or I sold an iron condor or something like that, that's not good. That's not what I want. And that's what we're going to see with my SPY and QQQ positions here in just a second. But if I'm long premium and I'm negative theta, then this has the opposite effect from what we saw in the previous kind of column and what we were looking at with positive theta. When I'm positive theta, long premium is increasing in value. When I'm positive theta, my long premium positions, their value is rising. Their value is approaching its maximum value. Their value is approaching, its maximum worth to me. Again, think in terms of like a vertical spread or an iron condor or something like that. It's going to make a lot of sense, although we don't typically buy iron condors. So a vertical spread might be the better example there. But here, if I'm negative theta, time is working against me. Well, now all of a sudden, the pathway that this long premium position is on is not towards maximum value. It's not towards prices rising and values increasing. It's going to be towards the thing not being worth anything. It's going to be worth, it's going to be heading towards, this strategy being worth zero, being worth, kaputs at some point in the future. And so this is kind of how you begin to differentiate between positive theta and negative theta and the impact that it has for you on your position. And hopefully this will make a lot of sense when we look at a couple of positions in the portfolio here in just a second. But one final comment that obviously all of the overachievers have already read and interpreted and maybe even applied in their own trading and portfolios right now is whether I'm positive or negative theta, it really shows me just how dependent on direction I might be, as we see down there in that green box. How dependent am I on direction in this position? Theta is going to give you a really, really nice sized clue to help answer that question. Am I really dependent on direction? Well, then you're very likely going to be in a negative theta situation. Am I maybe not so dependent on direction? Do I not really need a directional move to, bring this position back or get this position into a spot where it's in a good, position for me? Then I'm very likely going to be positive theta in that position. And so this is one example, one instance of how, the Greeks are connected, how these things are all kind of, interwoven, with one another when it comes to time and direction. And of course, volatility plays a role here too. But hopefully this makes a little bit of sense. So Ryan, go ahead and bring us back into the portfolio here. So let me show you guys just a couple of examples here really quick. So if I go in here and I'm just going to pull up, I can even pull up our McDonald's position. I'm just going to pull up two positions and I'm going to show you really, really quickly. One of them is long premium. That's McDonald's. The other one, QQQ, is short premium. That's QQQ. Which I just said. And so let's look at these two positions, and hopefully this will make sense to kind of tie together what I just talked about. And then we'll spend the second half of the show, or, the last 60% of the show, answering y'all's questions, as many of your questions as we can possibly get to. So if we take a look at McDonald's, right? I talked about this to kick off the show here today. And I'm not going to do anything because I like the way it sets up. I like the little booby trap we have set below the market. So if the market does, make a little bit of a misstep and head lower based on Uncle Jay, based on tech earnings, Thursday night, based on, whatever the rationale or reasoning might be, then we've got a nice little net set below where the market is to where we could capture a significant chunk of profits fairly quickly. But we have to be aware that if you look at this position, we are negative theta in a big way. We are negative a truckload of theta, which makes sense because, we only have a few days to go and we could salvage this thing for $1. Today, the salvage value would be $1 if we wanted to take it off. I'm not going to take it off for all the reasons I've talked about, but this ties in very nicely with the discussion that we just had on the slide, which is, all right, how dependent on direction am I in this position? I'm very dependent on direction. I need direction to move forward. If the stock doesn't go anywhere, if McDonald's just stays right at, where is it at 266? If McDonald's, let me open that back up. If McDonald's stays at 266, that's not enough for me. If McDonald's stays at 266, this number that you see right here, let me go ahead and grab a different color. This guy right here, that's going to zero. That number is going to zero. It's not if, It's not maybe, it's not sometimes, it's going to be zero come Friday expiration if McDonald's doesn't go down. So hopefully you can kind of see how dependent I am on direction. I'm very dependent on direction. Now, again, I don't need a huge move from McDonald's. We only need, 5, 6, 7 points, lower. So we're talking like, I don't know, man, we're talking like maybe 6 to 10, cardboard Happy Meals, and we'll be right where we need the stock to be. So, again, I'll apply the appropriate context to what you might be looking at, but still, we need this thing to move lower. Okay, let's erase that. Let's take a look at the Qs. If you look at the Qs here, you can see my position is a 272, 276 short call spread. We've had this guy on for a while, and we need the Qs down below. Well, we really need it down below 272 to get back, in line for maximum profit. But I'd be happy with this thing just below 276, which would, get me away from maximum loss. But we've got a ways to go to get to that point. But again, we've got lots of fireworks coming on down the chutes, tomorrow, and then Thursday with tech, and then Friday with, non-farm payrolls and all of those things. But look at the theta on this position. It's also negative, right? It's also negative $1.50. Now, again, this is going to be the thing that I think that is going to be a bit confusing or surprising to a lot of traders that are maybe just getting started. They're just getting used to selling premium and things like that. This was not a negative theta position when I first put it on. It was positive theta because we put this on when, the Qs were below 272, and this was an out of the money spread. So time was working in my favor. But now that the stock has moved such that this stock is not in a good spot anymore, and we are on the pathway forward to maximum loss, we are in a negative theta position. Now, if you tie these things together, right, take the negative theta and look at the mark price. The mark price, of course, is the current price of the strategy. Well, what is this spread going to be worth at expiration if the Qs don't move from where they are right now? So right now they're at 293, right? If they don't come back down, where is this thing going to be at expiration? This thing being the spread itself. Well, it's going to be worth its maximum value of $4. So its mark price on that Friday, that third Friday in February, which is coming up here in just a few weeks, it's going, or 2.5 weeks, it's going to be worth $4. So that's where the negative theta comes into play right here. It is showing me that time is working against me. It's not showing me that the prices are going to go down. Typically, when we think of negative theta, that's what we think about. Prices going down, like naked long calls, naked long puts, things like that. And that's correct in that context. Right here, though, we see negative theta. That doesn't mean the price is going to go down. That actually means the price is going to go up. But I'm short this premium, so it's not working in my favor. Whereas, of course, if I was long this same spread, it would be worth the same amount of money, 346, but my theta would be positive on that trade because now it would be approaching maximum value of $4, which would be working in my favor because I was long the spread, not short the spread. So hopefully this makes a little bit of sense.